kilalanin ang pambansang bayani ng Pilipinas si José Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Realonda. Siya ay namatay sa edad na 35. Noong December 30, 1896. Pinanganak noong June 19, 1861 sa Calamba, Laguna, Captaincy General of the Philippines, Spanish Empire. Francisco Rizal Mercado, ang kanyang ama. Teodora Alonso Realonda, ang kanyang ina. Relatives sa Turnina Hidalgo, ang kanyang kapatid na babae. Pasiano Rizal, ang kanyang kapatid na lalaki. Trinidad Rizal, ang kanyang kapatid na babae. He was executed by the Spanish colonial government for the crime of rebellion after the Philippine Revolution, inspired in part by his writings, broke out. Though he was not actively involved in its planning or conduct, he ultimately approved of its goals which eventually led to Philippine independence. He is widely considered one of the greatest heroes of the Philippines and has been recommended to be so honored by an officially empaneled National Heroes Committee. However, no law, executive order or proclamation has been enacted or issued officially proclaiming any Filipino historical figure as a national hero. He was the author of the novels Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, and a number of poems and essays. Rizal, 11 years old, a student at the Ateneo Municipal de Manila. Rizal first studied under Justiniano Aquino Cruz in Biñan, Laguna, before he was sent to Manila, 18, as to his father's request. He took the entrance examination in Colegio de San Juan de Letran, but he then enrolled at the Ateneo Municipal de Manila and graduated as one of the 9 students in his class declared sobresaliente, or outstanding. He continued his education at the Ateneo Municipal de Manila to obtain a land surveyor and assessor's degree, and at the same time at the University of Santo Tomas, where he did take up a preparatory course in law and finished with a mark of excelente or excellent. He finished the course of philosophy as a prelo, 19, upon learning that his mother was going blind. He decided to switch to medicine at the Medical School of Santo Tomas, specializing later in ophthalmology. He received his 4-year practical training in medicine at Hospital de San Juan de Dios in Intramuros. In his last year at medical school, he received a mark of sobresaliente in courses of Pathologia Medica, Medical Pathology, Pathologia Chirurgica, Surgical Pathology, and Obstetrics. Rizal, known for being an intelligent student, had some difficulty in some subjects in medical school such as Physica, Physics, and Pathologia General, General Pathology. Rizal as a student at the University of Santo Tomas without his parents' knowledge and consent, but secretly supported by his brother Pasiano. He traveled alone to Madrid in May 1882 and studied medicine at the Universidad Central de Madrid, where he earned the degree, Licentiate in Medicine. He also attended medical lectures at the University of Paris and the University of Heidelberg. In Berlin, he was inducted as a member of the Berlin Ethnological Society and the Berlin Anthropological Society under the patronage of the famous pathologist Rudolf Virchow. Following custom, he delivered an address in German in April 1887 before the Anthropological Society on the orthography and structure of the Tagalog language. He left Heidelberg a poem, A las Flores del Heidelberg, which was both an evocation and a prayer for the welfare of his native land and the unification of common values between East and West. At Heidelberg, the 25-year-old Rizal completed in 1887 his eye specialization under the renowned Professor Otto Becker. There he used the newly invented ophthalmoscope, invented by Hermann von Helmholtz, to later operate on his own mother's eye. From Heidelberg, Rizal wrote his parents, "I spend half of the day in the study of German and the other half, in the diseases of the eye. Twice a week, I go to the Bierbrauerei, or beer hall, to speak German with my student friends." He lived in a Karlstrasse boarding house, then moved to Ludwigsplatz. There, he met Reverend Karl Ulmer and stayed with them in Wilhelmsfeld, where he wrote the last few chapters of M.L.V.A. Rizal was a polymath, skilled in both science and the arts. He painted, sketched, and made sculptures and woodcarving. He was a prolific poet, essayist, and novelist whose most famous works were his two novels, M.L.V.A. and its sequel, El Filibusterismo. Note 2, these social commentaries during the Spanish colonization of the country formed the nucleus of literature that inspired peaceful reformists and armed revolutionaries alike. Rizal was also a polyglot, conversant in 22 languages. Note 3, Note 4, 21, 22. Rizal's multifacetedness was described by his German friend, Dr. Adolf Bernhard Meyer, as stupendous. Note 5, documented studies show him to be a polymath with the ability to master various skills and subjects. 21, 23, 24. He was an ophthalmologist, sculptor, painter, educator, farmer, historian, playwright and journalist. Besides poetry and creative writing, he dabbled, with varying degrees of expertise, in architecture, cartography, economics, ethnology, anthropology, sociology, dramatics, martial arts, fencing and pistol shooting. He was also a Freemason, joining Acacia Lodge No. 9 during his time in Spain and becoming a Master Mason in 1884.